Hi everybody, I'm Stacy with Stacy's Organizing and Decorating for Life. I am here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives. So today our topic is going to be about our relationship with ourself, God, or the universe. And I really want us to focus on the universe, okay? So if you like that's our topic today, or if you're not sure if you like that topic, but you're a little bit curious, and even if you're not a little bit curious, if you'll hit that like and subscribe button below and hang in here. But before I get started, I want to remind you to check the details box out below so you can see what I am and what I am not, and how you can reach out to me if you choose to. Like I say, I'm here to help you organize your thoughts and decorate your perspectives. So in doing that, I want to thank you all also who have recently subscribed to this channel, and those of you who have been subscribed to this channel. Whichever way you choose to support this channel, I have much gratitude for you and love, because that's the mission statement of this channel, is gratitude and love, and to spread more of that in this world rather than attitude and hate, okay? So if you like that's our topic, remember to subscribe and keep going. Keep this energy going, okay? All right, so I also want to thank Soraya for the shirt and Prentice for these earrings. I celebrated my birthday last week, and I want to thank all of you who wished me happy birthday, and I've been celebrating this week. And as you know, when I say celebrating all this time, I don't drink or do drugs, so I'm very fortunate that I can remember how and when I'm celebrating, and that I have more to celebrate, and that I don't sabotage so much anymore, that I don't have as many people in my life, because I have more, and I never would have thought that it would be this way. So I'm very grateful to each and every one of you, okay? Now, into this topic, our relationship with self, God, and the universe, which is what I'm talking about with relationships, you know, kind of what I just said, because it's about that gratitude or attitude thing. And when I first, you know, I haven't always had gratitude. So it came from doing things the hard way. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about our relationship with you, talking about ourselves. Because the relationship with God, the universe, with everybody else begins with yourself. So everything begins with you, your thoughts and your perspectives. Bad, good, negative, positive, and we all have that within us as human beings. You know, we're part of this electromagnetic field and energy of this earth, you know, and so we're all connected in that way. In our humanness, sometimes we tend to see ourselves as separate. So when we look at you as in ourself, it's very important to pay attention to how we're doing that. How is this looking on us, you know? How are we looking at ourselves? It's oftentimes, you know, I'm going to express how my dad and mom, you know, I come from a dysfunctional family, as many of us have, you know. And the thing, though, that I'm able to see are the positive things that I got to learn from that family as well, through the healing of the negative things that weighed on my soul. I can see more of the positive things. And as a child, I had a gap between my teeth, so sometimes to take the attention off me, as we do as human beings, we point the finger at somebody else. You know, we want to distract and talk about, well, at least we build our esteem off of putting other people down, and that just happens, especially in dysfunctional families, because we don't know how to develop an esteem. That wasn't taught to us. It wasn't taught to the people who taught us, you know. So I sometimes, to do that, I would make fun of somebody else's teeth. And my dad told me one time, he says, Stacy, if you make fun of other people's teeth, you are so lucky that you don't have that problem. But that could happen to you, and that, you know, kind of like a curse. So I want you to understand that things that we say with our mouth can be a blessing or a curse. But it, you know, it's also acknowledging what we are saying with our mouths, and that relationship, the things that we say. And sometimes we do think about the things we say. I know that I've said things, and it's kept me up all night, the things that I said, you know. And again, if you relate with this, you know, you can put a comment in the comment box below if you've also had that happen. But so what happens is then we might need to take a knee. So we talked about the you, now we're talking about the knee. Because when we look at ourselves, sometimes we want forgiveness. You know, and it's been said that if we want forgiveness, we got to forgive others. If we want friends, we got to be a good friend. If we want to have a good partner, we need to hone up to be the kind of partner, you know, the same thing. We need to match it. But sometimes we need to take a knee or pray or whatever it is that we do to develop that, whether your relationship is with this God or the universe. I think that some people are thrown off when we look at the relationship with you, which I think that God is the seed that lives within all of us, that God speaks to me through people, whether they believe in God or not, And so it begins with us. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I just do this freestyle. I don't have a speech. I don't have a prompter. I don't know anything like that. I don't have that. So, and these things that we say sometimes can come from our past. It comes from what our parents said, like I said before. So when it doesn't feel right with our soul, we may want to take a knee and ask for forgiveness, so that we can be what we want to see. Okay? And so how we all know, we want to be treated as, a certain way. But if we want to be treated that way, we have to give up these old tapes, these old thoughts, and quit saying those things. Because what I learned is that if I thought this was happening with somebody else, it was probably because I was doing it. When I was in my addiction and I thought people were judging me, I was judging them so that I wouldn't have to measure up. So I wouldn't have to, so that was my esteem, my low self-esteem. So if I want to hire self-esteem, I have to hire my bar, raise my property value. That's what I've been working on a lot lately, is raising my property value. Because when I look at where I am today, where I was last year, is that I was, celebrating my birthday last year, I was afraid to ask for anything. I'm sure that I was asked what I wanted for my birthday, but I was afraid to ask for anything because I was afraid that it would get thrown up in my face. And so I can't even remember what I got last year for my birthday or anything, because I knew that I was afraid to ask for anything, because I knew that I would have to hear about it later, about what it cost or what this or that, so I didn't. And I've made a lot of changes in this past year, and I didn't ask for anything for my birthday, and I got way more than I could have ever dreamed of, and it was being open. But it's also taking that knee, so being in charge of my own thoughts and channeling those and looking at those, because they haven't always been positive in this past year. I've gone through some different things, but it's not as bad as it was before. And so it's progress. See, sometimes we forget the progress part. We want to go from point A to point B and forget all that stuff in between. But as a coach, that's what I do, is I navigate and I calculate and look at the progress and I track things. This is what I do as a coach. So looking at the tracking, I can see the progress within my own self. So I pay attention to what I say. And that's how I've gotten to where I am today, is because that verse. So now we're talking about the verse. Whether you pray and take that knee, or whether you take a knee when you're broken and feeling down, or however you take a knee. And sometimes we can't take our knees. I sit on a cushion and do my prayers. I'm not really on my knees, so it's just a figurative thought, take a knee. But it's however we become humble. Because see, when we have everything figured out, and that's what we do in our old thinking pattern, those old tapes, is we think we have everything figured out, because everything that we see, hear, taste, smell channels all through here. It channels through these glands and then down into the chains in our back, the autonomic cerebral spinal, and then it gets into our organs. And so sometimes when we don't feel like we're running very well, it's because of our own thoughts. I'm not saying it all is, and I'm certainly not a doctor if you look in that box below, I'm just saying that I think everything's divinely connected and wholly directed with a W, remember, because I'm not religious here. I'm not even promoting religious, but I do promote that there's a power greater than ourselves that's helped me navigate through this life to be where I am today, and it's not bad at all in any way. Even last year or the year before, everything has got me to where I am now. And when I stay in the present moment, it's quite okay. And it comes from all the verses that I said yesterday, because everything is building up. So I'm just asking you to pay attention to yourself so that you know where you are, so that you can grow. Whether that be taking a knee, figuratively, or taking a knee as in humbly, and then learning to say the things you do want to say. How many times have you sat down, like I said, and thought, oh, I wish I'd have said this? How many times have you been kept awake at night, thinking about, oh, I wish I would have said this, or I wish I would have done that? But if we take a knee and we become humble, probably we aren't going to say as throwed off stuff as we would have. And then also if we learned how to apologize, where that throwed off stuff comes from. And that begins with us. We know what was fed back here in the back of our mind that we're seeing and transmitting with our eyes or sensing with our smell or our ears, whatever we hear. If we heard it once before and then we hear it again in another way, we may think it's being said in the way we perceived it the first time, because that's usually how we end up feeling sad, mad, angry, all these things. But we don't have to feel that way if we channel through that. And we may have to feel angry. But what can I do? Because they aren't going to change, you know? So what can I do to make the change in my life? And it begins with the universe, you know. What do you consider your universe? Are you constricted? Do you have rules on yourself and others and bars that you can't reach yourself? Or do you think because you reach a bar that somebody else has to reach it? Because that, like I say, it begins with you. It doesn't begin with them. You, me, because you're a unique person. That's what I mean, is you're unique in your own way. But you're no better or worse than anyone else. So that's the humility of taking that knee. And then remembering what the words you say are. Thinking about those words that you say. The words you say to yourself and the words you say to somebody else. So I hope that this video has been helpful. And, you know, again, look in the details box below if you'd like to reach out to me. I hope that you'll spread this if you feel that it is helpful, you know, because this is what I'm trying to change, is the vibe of this universe. So thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate you and value you and your time. I want to thank Soraya for this shirt that I got to wear, and Prentice for these earrings. I'm so blessed with people in my life, and I didn't even know that I was going to, you know, have my life expand this much. But it has been from people helping me as I'm trying to help you, so I thank you. All right, I wish you much peace and love, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Thank you so much.